Okay, let's get started. Hi, I'm Bill, and if this is the first time dropping into the channel, welcome. I want to start this video off by really giving some big thank yous to everyone who took a moment to both watch my I Quit Astrophotography video, but more importantly, for taking time to share comments with me, comments about your experiences, and letting me and anyone else that may be involved in this hobby that have run into some frustrations know that we're not alone. Many people in this hobby run into frustrations, mistakes, those type of things. Um, I really want to, from the bottom of my heart, say thank you for taking the time to comment. I have read each comment and I've really been thinking about them. So let's get back to what this video is about. Based upon your comments, I think that I have an opportunity right now to take a step backwards to go forward. And so what I'm thinking about is, since I put my original kit together, which included the monochrome camera and the filter wheel and filters, because I had planned on imaging from my backyard, which is in a Bortle 8-9 zone. And that, combined with the reality that my imaging going forward for the most part will be in a Bortle 4 zone down at Goat Mountain Astronomical Research Station in Landers, California. I think the opportunity I have is to move to a one-shot color camera, cooled camera, and take some of the complexity out of my both imaging tasks as well as my processing tasks using PixInsight. And so what I'm looking for in this video is, if you have any thoughts or guidance, I'm going to share with you a couple of cameras that I'm looking at in the price point that I want to spend, and get your feedback on am I thinking about this camera purchase in the right way? And what are your thoughts on each of the cameras that I am considering? Now, the other factor is, at some point I had planned to move to a longer focal length. Again, I see the limitation of moving to a longer focal length being my current German equatorial mount, my HEQ5 Pro. It has a payload capacity, can only take a certain amount of weight. I'm not sure that it could take a 4-inch refractor, but part of my analysis will include trying to pair the right camera both with my Zenithstar 61 as well as a longer focal length that I might move into next year that would be have a weight appropriate for my current mount. So okay, let's get started. So you kind of have the hopefully the foundation of what I'm looking to get as far as feedback. So let's go into my current camera. Again, I think my current camera is a really good camera. I like its ability to have a bin 1, bin 2 mode where you can change the pixel size. It has a good quantum efficiency. I think it's been a good camera, and I'm satisfied with the camera. But so that's why I'm sticking with ZWO when I'm looking at my options. So if I were to move to a one-shot color camera, the two models that I'm looking at is, the first one is the ASI 183 MC Pro. I like the price point, $799. I sold something recently, so it's put together some cash that's going to enable me to make this purchase. Looking at its specifications, I like the smaller pixel size, And again, you know, quantum efficiency of 84. While I don't yet understand exactly the nuances of the quantum efficiency impact, I think it's related to signal to noise per unit time, but I don't really want to go there because I don't necessarily understand it. Also, I think this is a 20.18 megapixel camera, which will allow me to do some cropping given I have the shorter 360 millimeter focal length. So I'm looking at this model, but then and Kurt, if you see this video, I think this is what you may be using currently. I'm also taking a look at the 533 color one-shot camera, and it has some reasonable specs as well. A 14-bit ADC, and the other interesting thing is it has more of a square sensor. Again, I don't know how that may impact me, but I'll show you what my thoughts are on that from a scale perspective. So these are the cameras that I'm considering. I like the lower price point, but if there's a lot of additional benefit for the additional $100, I can probably scrape together that money to pay for that. So how I'm approaching this is I was looking to astronomy.tools and their CCD suitability calculator for some guidance on trying to fit the one-shot color camera to my existing Zenithstar 61, as well as a future scope that may be, you know, a scope with a longer focal length that might be in my future. So let's step through now with the current Zenithstar. Here's what the ASI 294 looks like. You'll see down here that they have a range in arc seconds of 0.67 to 2 arc seconds per pixel, with the 294 in the bin 1 mode of the 2.4 micron pixel size. The resolution is equal to 1.38 arc seconds. So okay, you know, green is good. If I move and to a one-shot color camera, and it's the 183, again the 2.4 micron pixel size, again I'm within the range that they're suggesting of the ideal size for okay seeing, and generally where I image it's okay seeing. So again, the 1.3 arc second per pixel resolution. When I then move and I change the camera to the 533, you see that the resolution moves up to 2.15 arc seconds per pixel. So a little bit outside the range of what the ideal pixel size is according to them, but there are some benefits in the it reduces the influence of guiding errors and improves the signal to noise at the expense of the finest detail. So with regard to reducing the influence of guiding errors, one thing I was able to accomplish last year through taking the time to properly balance my telescope on my HEQ5, I was able to obtain a pretty low error in guiding. So I don't think I need to take steps to necessarily mask guiding errors through the purchase of this one-shot colored camera. Now again, I mentioned that in the future I might be looking at a longer focal length, and for this exercise I just picked the William Optics FLT 91, and so it's 540 millimeter its focal length. And so again, with the current camera, the 294, it seems to be within the guidance that they're suggesting for the ideal pixel size at 0.92 arc seconds per pixel. If I take a look at the FLT91 paired with the 183, again, because of the CCC, the pixel size, I'm at 0.92 arc seconds per pixel. So that's still in the good range. And then if I look at the the 533, again, with the pairing of the FLT91 and this camera, I'm now squarely in a good ideal pixel size or arc seconds per pixel range at 1.44 arc seconds per pixel. So so that looks pretty good. And I was going to plug in the 120, the William Optics 120, but really that's outside of my price range. So I don't, and probably is starting to put more weight on my HEQ5 than I might like to run with. So I'm not even going to go there. All right, so this is kind of my thinking of how I'm approaching what would be the correct one-shot color camera to purchase within the price point I'm looking to obtain for the purchase. But I did do one more thing, and so we take a look here at Stellarium, and what I did is, you may know, if you use Stellarium, you can go into the setup here, and I've loaded the FLT94. I've loaded the my Zenithstar 61. I've also put in the FLT 120, but we won't talk about that. Well, maybe we will a little bit. And then also for the sensors, here's the different cameras. So this is a pretty handy tool. And then what I did down here is I just advanced the to October of 2022, and I just picked a time in the morning. And so if I look at Rosette Nebula, what I'm able to do here is I'm able to step through the various cameras. So here is the current pairing of my Zenithstar 61 with my current ASI 294mm. So scale and framing, I think works. I can, pretty good. What I want to try to avoid, I don't want to inadvertently purchase a camera that would cause me to have to go into shooting mosaics. Again, if I'm in the process of going to a one-shot colored camera, I'm looking to take some of the complexity out of the imaging tasks, as well as the image processing tasks in PixInsight. So, so this is my current camera. If I select the 183, scale, framing, at least for this target, looks good. So that looks acceptable. And then if I go with the 533, again, the scale and the framing looks good. But let's just change the target real quickly, and let's go to M31. Hopefully it's up. I think it's up this time, in that time of the year. And if we go, okay, so this is the Andromeda with my current scope, the Z61 and the 294 camera. If I move to the, I can probably rotate this some. I don't know how to do this, but I could see where I could rotate my telescope using the framing wizard or something, and I could get the majority of the Andromeda galaxy in the framing that I get using the 183. And then if we move to the Actually, that's not bad either with the 533. So that looks pretty good. And then let's just do maybe one more target that might be available just to see what that framing looks like. And let's go with the let's take the California Nebula, and again, here's the 294. The 183, and you know, even with the 533, I get the majority of the image. And let's just take one more, which I like to shoot, which would be the Heart Nebula. Again, I should be able to frame that. Well, I do frame that with my current 294 and the Zenith Star 61. With this camera, I'm going to lose something here, which might start to take me into a mosaic area. And also here, you know, that could work. This square sensor could work for this image. What I've not done is I need to plan out all the targets I want to shoot this year or this season, and then run them through this process to see which ones would be a good fit, probably with the scaling, and which ones may not. But now let's go back to the original target, which was the Rosette Nebula, and then let's go up to the change the telescope. Not the 120 again. And here we are with the, let's just step through from the beginning. Here's the 294, my current camera. Here is the 183. And here again is the 533. Now, the more that I run different targets through this, the 533 is looking interesting to me. So here again, this is why I'm sharing this information with you. Again, I consider myself a newbie. I don't know necessarily all the nuances. And so I have shared that I'm looking at the 183 at 799 and the 899 533, and as I'm sitting here thinking out loud, this framing, this square sensor is kind of interesting to me, and maybe the way that I go. But again, I don't want to. I want to wait for some of your feedback, and direction, thoughts, comments. You know, I really want to kind of poll you in a sense and see if you have any immediate feedback. So I just wanted to share with you, you know, your comments really were helpful to me. I'm in a position to take a step back to go forward. I think it's the right thing to do. It'll take complexity out of both the image processing and the image capture. Do I give some things up? Being able to use the Hubble color palette, and you know, not shooting you know, narrow band and those type of things. I don't know the nuances there on how much I'm giving up, but I did look on Astrobin, and let's go back to Astrobin. And I was trying to use Astrobin as well as to see what people were able to image or produce given the various cameras, the 183 and the 533. So, you know, just trying to get a feel for what I'd be able to produce. But the key thing this season for me is I'd like to actually produce some images. I'd like to simplify my workflow, like to reduce the complexity in my setup, and then I can always move back into the 294 with the filters. I wouldn't sell it necessarily, or who knows, maybe I would sell it at some point. So anyway, if you have some thoughts on this, please take a moment to share. I appreciate your feedback. You know, I really do think what many of you suggested to my in comments from my I Quit Astrophotography video is use the mistake that I made as a learning opportunity. Take your comments to heart, and maybe taking a step back will really enable me to move forward. And I think that's what it's all about. So anyway, if you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. As always, like, share, and subscribe. I want to thank you for dropping into the channel. I want to thank you for taking a moment to subscribe and hitting that notification bell. I'm super excited. I'm even more excited now that I've come to grips that maybe, taking a step back is the way for me to move forward. So I'm excited about that. The money came together last minute. I wasn't expecting it. So maybe everything is lining up and pointing me in a direction. And that direction seems to be a one-shot color camera for this season. And again, your comments and suggestions around which camera to choose could be very helpful to me right now. Now, I'm still going down to Goat Mountain this weekend. I am going to redo the offsets for the filters in my filter wheel, since there's been an upgrade to dark customs in Nina. I am also going to load my two new S2 and 03 3 nanometer filters into the filter wheel. And even though I may be moving away from that setup for the time being for this season, I got nothing else to do. Might as well go down there and do a little bit of work. I think it's the pinwheel Galaxy might be available. Maybe I'll see what that looks like shooting with my current setup. And it'll give me a moment to check out all my gear, make sure everything's functional. Do I have any issues? And just refamiliarize myself with using Nina. I want to get into the advanced sequencer, so it's an opportunity to do that. So anyway, I will be probably producing a video from this trip that I'll be doing this weekend. But again, I really appreciate your comments and suggestions. So if you have any here on a one-shot color camera choice, let me know. All right. Thanks again for dropping in. Till next time.